making my prediction on the US Senate election that's going to come up in November. And this time there are 34 Senate races that are up for grab. And then for incumbency, there are 14 seats that Democrats originally hold, and there are 20 seats that Republicans originally hold. And I'm gonna just fill out all of the safe states first. California, Oregon, Washington, Hawaii, Illinois, New York, Vermont, Connecticut, Maryland, in the safe red, Alaska, Idaho, Utah, North Dakota, South Dakota, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Iowa, Indiana, Kentucky, Alabama, South Carolina. And then the likely states, I'm also not going to talk about them too much, because basically it's almost certain that they will go to a certain party. And so yeah, Colorado and New Hampshire. For the New Hampshire one, the problem is that the Republicans have pretty much lost all of their best candidates, these three. So I think the Democrats are going to grab this seat. And for Florida, if we look at the polling data here, Marco Rubio is up by a pretty comfortable number. Okay, so now there are only a handful of states left. So for example, if we look at Nevada, there aren't really a lot of polling data. But if we look at the popularity of Joe Biden, normally in a midterm election, the popularity of the president is very important. We can see here that his disapproval rating is looking really terrible. And for the generic ballot poll, it's also the Republicans leading here. And there's just like a lack of enthusiasm in the state of Nevada from the Democratic Party in these couple of years. So I think this seat is going to go to the Republicans, even though that yes, the Democrats do have the incumbency advantage, which is very important in a Senate election, no matter where you are in the world, or like when voters just love to vote for the incumbent candidate. And for Arizona, we do have some polling data here. I mean, you can see that the lead has been cut down. And I think the most important reason is still because of Joe Biden's extreme unpopularity. But yeah, Mark Kelly is a former NASA astronaut, and he won the 2020 special election against Mark McSally. I do still believe that he is still going to be able to win. He raised quite a lot of money in the last quarter of 2021. So therefore, I'm going to put this in the blue column here. And if we look at Wisconsin, there's Ron Johnson is the incumbent, and he is going to seek for re-election. And so we'll put this in the lean Republican column. If we look at here, Biden only carried the state by, 0.6%, and in this sort of national environment, it's I think 90% it's going to go to the Republicans, no problem. And for Pennsylvania, if we again look at this polling data here, we see Fetterman in the lead in pretty much all of the polls. Obviously, these polls are a little bit old, but as you can see here, there is no clear Republican frontrunner. And that is usually a bad sign for the Republicans, because there might be some primary drama or just some dropouts or stuff like that. So because there is no frontrunner, I'm going to give this one to the Democrats. And also Georgia. So if we look at Georgia here, Herschel Walker, who has been endorsed by Donald Trump, clearly has a better chance at winning this race. I must say that because now that Walker has also gotten the endorsement from Mitch McConnell, so I think if that's the case, then if Walker actually wins the primary, then the Republicans are gonna grab this seat from Warnock. Then the question is who actually win the primary, right? And from the polling data I've seen recently, it definitely shows that Republicans are more willing to vote for Walker than Black. So yeah. And Herschel Walker has just been gaining in popularity at a pretty rapid speed. So I think this is going to go to the Republicans. So this put as adds 49 Democrats and 51 Republicans. And before this 2022 election, it was, I think, 50-50, and to break the tie, obviously Vice President Kamala Harris is a Democrat, so Democrat has just a slight advantage in the Congress. Yeah, but after this election, it's definitely going to go to the Republicans. It's just by how much, actually. I don't think it's possible for Democrats to actually maintain the majority. And a lot of people are talking about, whether this is going to be like a red wave here, and Democrats are going to lose a lot of seats. I think it's going to be between like 47 to 49. It's very much possible that they can lose both Arizona and Pennsylvania at the end. But other than that, there really aren't any other seats that the Democrats could potentially lose. At least now, I don't see any. But this a lot of things can still change between now, which is February to November. Obviously, what happens in the primary is going to be very important, and especially for the GOP, because there are still a lot of these races that they haven't confirmed who is going to be their candidate yet. For a lot of these states, there are no front runner, and that's usually a bad thing because you cannot start campaigning before you actually know who is going to run for the seat.